Hear, O Yashar'Al, the great I am, the great spirit, is the only power for you. The great I am, the great spirit is one. Speak peace on this day of rest. Rise, O Yashar'Al. Welcome to World War III. Our reference today will be the Ethiopian Enoch, chapter 93, verse 8. Today's message will be entitled, Disincorporate from Fear. Excuse me. A military governor or governor general is one who has supreme rule and authority over occupied territory, thus making governance a military operation. Many of you are not familiar with the terms military and governor together because it's one of those things the government don't want the governed to focus on. Most of you are familiar with the terms lieutenant governor together. Again, a military function. You see, the military government has gone and hidden itself right before your eyes as a civilian function, creating civil laws and making civil rights, of which are violated, levels of enforcement can enslave or kill you. We've been operating under the force of military government since Vice President Andrew Johnson, the 17th president, also military governor of Tennessee, his use of black codes to manage the Democratic, meaning majority rules, Reconstruction Period. And this Democratic ruled Reconstruction Period lasted from 1865 all the way to 1965 when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. protested against it and asked for reparations. That was Dr. King. The United States began as a military government for the people, by the people, a phrase coined by Abraham Lincoln in his Gettysburg Address. The Gettysburg Address. And again, Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president of the United States. He's making reference to the Declaration of Independence from the tyranny of England, Great Britain. Again, you are more familiar with the part that begins with "We the people of the United States." Now, I want you guys to go and read that full document because there's things that are being left out of our modern culture that are not being addressed. This document that they wrote is pretty much what black people are saying today about the United States. They wrote this against England, and they're saying pretty much the same thing that the so-called black people who are called black today are saying about the United States. What you're not familiar with is that this same document, it says that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government. Here's a new word for you guys. Again, it's at the top. To disincorporate is a verb, an action word, which dissolves an existing corporate body, an existing functioning corporate body. You want to dissolve it because it's of no use to you. It's a terror. It's a government of terror that terrorizes you. It has displaced you and has an evil rule over you. For an example, I was born on the indigenous lands of Paltewat, meaning water found. Paltewat village of the Cahuilla people in California, the land called California, because again, that is a incorporated name of the land. Incorporated peoples call it by the tongue of the Spaniard missionaries. If you find that out, you let me know. To wrap this up, the Edomites, Europeans, have a very long history of having documented evidences that those called Negroes, Indigenous Americans, and their mulatto descendants are in fact the people that the Bible speaks of. The prophet Enoch teaches animal nations interpreted as ruling kingdoms. Go to that book and see that every animal that he names is an actual kingdom in charge of the people who are spoken of in the Bible. Like, you'll see hyenas as different people, jackals as different people. Well, the sheep in the book of Enoch are the people of the book, and he's only concerned with those sheep throughout all of his prophecies. There are no additions and subtractions to what he's talking about sheep in his prophecies. So again, the Bible is specifically a book for Hebrew Israelites. Christianity has done us a disservice in trying to interpret it and apply their meanings to it, their canon laws and all this other stuff. Also the Arabs adding their Sharia law and all this craziness. And again, there's on record, again, I'm going to put in the description box below how we have went and found the French documents as to where these Ashkenazi Jews who are pretending that their Talmud is some type of holy document, which is not. God says do not add or subtract. But in French documents, it has been proven and it is documented that they went to Africa and sought out indigenous Hebrew Israelites, as it says, in Africa. They didn't go to Europe. They had to go and learn how to live on the land from Africans, or at least those people who were in Africa identifying themselves as Hebrew Israelites. And again, Father Enoch, he shows the Hebrew Israelites to come out of the madness of other nations from the beginning. In fact, the Most High, Oh Yashar'Al, which is the term used by Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to identify the power before they started using the term Jehovah, which is nowhere in the Bible. It's just an addition to call God Lord when his name is not Lord. Again, Ahia, the Most High power, always declares what the end would be like from the beginning. Now, folks, again, I'm gonna let you guys see those things for yourselves. Go down to the description, go to that link that I'm adding here, and look at the French document. Look at the Declaration of Independence. You know, you really don't need me to see these things. You don't need me to tell you these things, but I am telling you because a lot of people are not paying attention to what these things pertain to. And they specifically, well, the Bible specifically is a law for Hebrew Israelites. And we have come to this madness that when tyranny is upon us, we must listen to these other nations and their laws, when it has been tyranny from the beginning. And they create these black codes and these Jim Crow laws and these civil orders, you know, civil rights and all these things to make a law for us to trust that they're doing right by us, when we have a law that was given to us by Enoch, by Jacob, by Isaiah, by Ezekiel. These are by Moses. These are things that were given to our ancestors long before these civil orders came out, you know, and they govern us more perfectly than a foreign nation could. We got Enoch here saying that these people would govern us in a way that they would destroy more, that they would actually destroy more of us than what was intended. He's actually saying this thousands upon thousands of years ago, so that you would know today exactly who the Edomites are. exactly who the Egyptians are, exactly who these nations are that would do these hideous crimes to us. In fact, to confuse the whole world with madness. I am your conscientious objector. I'm a minister of peace. I'm also a Hebrew Israelite. With that being said, Hebrew Israelite out.